Welcome to the Social Podcast, where no discussion or debate is off limits.
Thank you for that warm welcome. Have a seat. Thank you. You all look fabulous. You know who else looks fabulous? Filmmaker and comedian Connor Malboeuf is our guest today.
Hi. Nice to see you guys.
Connor, we are so delighted. You are from Pickering, is that right?
No,
where are you from?
Mary Berg next door is from Pickering.
Oh, where are you
I'm from Aurora.
Aurora.
Yeah, everyone knows Aurora.
Love Aurora.
Okay, wait, I have to ask you.
Strip mall.
You strip mall?
If it was with Narnia, it'd be Aurora.
There.
You know what I mean?
Malboeuf, does it actually mean bad beef?
Bad beef, sick cow, or diseased cattle. However
That's
you
the
want
last
to take
name.
it.
Okay, all right. Well, we're
I
starting.
know. I don't know who killed a butcher down the line of my family, but someone did.
Oh my
But here we are.
Can we just get to talk about the elephant in the room? You look like Shawn Mendes, no? You know the pop star? Right?
I'll take it till I die.
Okay.
I usually say I'm his ugly brother, but that'll work.
You're the good-looking older brother. We like it, all right? So let's dive in. We got a lot to talk about today. So we're starting with the breakup everyone is still talking about. Talking about Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Their epic fallout. Oh, you guys are not happy. Their epic fallout started after Musk stepped down as head of the Department of Government Efficiency and openly criticized the president's tax and spending bill, saying it would add trillions to the deficit. It then escalated to the two of them trading insults and threats on social media platforms, X and Truth Social. I know, the girls were fighting, hon. Okay, so who will come out on top in this reality show-style breakup? What do you guys think? Musk? Trump? Oh,
Wow. Well, I got money on Musk, so it's got to be Musk.
You have it on Musk, how come?
Holly Market, $100. American, so you know I'm American dollar.
okay.
So what, 800 Canadian?
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Andrea said it correct. The girls are fighting.
The girls are fighting, honey.
The only way to solve this is you just put them both in WWE Raw.
Yes!
True.
Oil them up, take off the leash, see who wins.
Good bet.
Take off the leash.
Start betting.
Do you feel like there hasn't been a recent story that is simultaneously funny and absolutely terrifying at the same time?
I know.
Because this fallout, this rift could have huge consequences for like real normal people, which makes me afraid. But I have to say, if I were Musk, I'd be so mad. I'd be so, just imagine you're the richest man in the world, you have a rocket, a social media empire, you have like 14 or more kids, you buy an election,
I know.
and the president sells you out like this.
Elon tried to colonize Mars.
Yeah.
Trump tried to colonize Canada. I mean, I see a through line. Christopher Columbus is thrilled right now.
Oh my God.
He's up there. Oh, sorry, he's down there just
He's
thrilled about that.
See what you did there. See what you did there. That was clever. I don't know about you guys, but Thursday night, I was just like, going on social media, and I saw this, and I immediately texted my partner, and I said, is this for real? And he said, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is the world we're living in, where you
Yeah.
see it, and you actually think, did AI create this, or this is, and it is real. And then I was like, it's exactly what you're saying. Is this WrestleMania, or is this like, as the New Yorker named it, we are in Trump's As the Trump Turns?
Oh
Like
my God, that's
it's
clever.
actually like a soap opera. And the thing is that we know about soap operas and reality shows is that people come and go, characters come and go. And so the question I have is like, is this just a grand distraction from the riots that have taken place today? Like,
Listen, I'm with you. I think this story is as fake as a $3 bill, or as the Trump administration likes to say, fake news. And I'll tell you why. First of all, Elon's in trouble. Ever since he started with Doge, his Tesla stocks have taken a nosedive, and he has to do something, or he's going to lose everything. So I see what's going on here, and it is Steve Bannon, who is Donald Trump's former right hand, who gave us the playbook on this. He's like, this is what you do. The media is lazy, so you put weird stories out there, they all run after it, and then you get other things done.
You flood the zone.
You flood the zone. That's exactly what it called it. And if you think about it, there were shots fired, but there were no bullets in that gun. First of all, Elon's like, oh, he doesn't want to release, Donald Trump doesn't want to release the Epstein files because he's in it. We already know that. It's all over the internet, right? So that's nothing.
100%. Also, he knew.
Everybody knows.
If Elon knew that he was in the Epstein files, why would you campaign for him?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then Trump says that he knew Elon was using drugs during the campaign.
Thank you.
So, and then you put him in charge of the Department of Government Efficiency?
Yep.
Exactly. And talking about that, because Elon's like, well, I helped him win the election. Duh. We already know that. And Donald Trump,
And actually,
Trump has talked about that publicly. Right? And we all know that, but these are things that have already been said publicly. This is why I'm not believing this feud. Again, shots fired, no bullets. This is all nonsense. This is just them trying to manipulate and coerce people to believe that they're feuding so that he can bring his Tesla stocks back up. I see what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I will believe that this is a real feud the minute I see Elon get on a plane to either El Salvador or back to South Africa and get deported from the United States. When I see that, I'll be like, okay, the fight's real. Until I see that, I'm not falling for this. Not falling for it.
Until then, I want a Love is Blind reunion. Of them. Throw them on there. Nick Lachey can host.
Oh my God.
Call it a day.
You're really clever. Okay, let's stick with relationships, shall we? Someone wrote to the advice columnist at the Washington Post after finding out their wife's raunchy new novel is based on her actual life experiences. So here's the question. Would learning new raunchy details about your partner's past, would that bother you?
You're not sure? First of all, oh, you guys are, okay. First of all, Cynthia, you could at least tell us that you're writing a book about your sex life. The very least you could do. Why do we have to fight like this? I thought we were friends, Cynthia. I thought we were friends.
You know, it's funny you say that, though, because Jason often says he'll listen to my podcast and he'll be like, I didn't know this about you, or I'm discovering things about you through that, but I'm not working on this book. But I will say, this man says they are happily married, and they have been for 30 years. He loves this woman, okay? She started a blog, she started writing, she started including this stuff. She's written this book that's fictionalized, okay? And now he's worried about the people are going to be talking about this. To me, isn't the problem with him then?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Absolutely.
Like, he was fine.
So you think he's not concerned so much about the details of what she did,
if you've been
but
together
about
for
like
30 years,
telling your kids, like, oh,
your mom's
everything
gonna
mommy
read it,
wrote
your
about.
neighbors are gonna read it, your employer's gonna read it. I think that's the issue.
I'm like, his problem is that she's now too experienced? Is that the problem?
I think that's it.
I would love that problem.
But, okay.
You know what I mean?
All jokes aside, though, there is a difference when we talk about gender, because if this was the husband writing the book, I don't even think we'd be discussing this. But when it's women and our sexuality, we all get like very like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she did that. And it's like, you all are all doing it.
Yes.
And it actually reminds me of a book that came out in 2005 called Confessions of a Video Vixen.
I remember this.
Do you remember this book?
Yes.
This is Stefan Cairns, and she was a video vixen at the time. And she wrote a book. She was approached by a publisher to write a book about all of her sexual trysts with big names. I'm talking LL Cool J, P. Diddy. Oh, honey, Jay-Z was in that book, everybody. And she was asked by Billboard magazine if she regretted writing the book. And it's like, well, she wrote the book and she was an adult when she had this sex, so why would she regret it? And she's like, it's funny, you don't ask the men that question. You just ask me. And I think there's always just like, again, this husband has the right to feel away because it is his personal sex life, but I think there's a difference. I think if it was flipped, we wouldn't even be talking about it.
Well, and men, I will say, straight men.
Straight men.
Straight men want a woman who's not experienced, and they want a woman who is experienced, and then you finally find somebody you can never be happy.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what do you want?
Well, you're
know what I
asking.
mean?
I'm not a straight man, so
All I know,
like you asked me that.
if it's at Indigo, I'm buying it.
Okay, done.
I'm gonna buy it. Or just send them both to Cancun, put them in a honeymoon suite, and let them go through it.
Let nature take its course.
I got it.
You know what I mean?
I like it. So we were down one diva at last night's Tony Awards. Patti LuPone did not attend Broadway's biggest night after more than 500 theater professionals signed an open letter asking producers to disinvite her. So the uproar came after Patti insulted two Broadway actresses in an interview with The New Yorker. So this was an open letter. Do we think this was justified or a step too far? Connor?
Okay. So I might not be the only one on this table, but I have worked with her. I have met her.
So spill the tea.
I directed the GLAAD Awards, which is like a Happy Pride, a gay award show in Los Angeles. Happy Pride. And I met Patti. I was backstage. This frantic woman came running up to me and saying, I have chicken in my teeth. can you look? And she looked at me. She smiled as big as can be. There it is.
Oh my
And I was
gosh.
flossing her teeth. I'm flossing her teeth like
Oh
this.
my gosh.
That's intimate.
I said, Patty, you got a chicken thigh in your teeth. And so I come here from a different perspective because I've worked with her.
Yeah.
And she was lovely. She was respectful. She was nice. However, that was my experience. Patty is arguably one of the most prolific Broadway actors of all time.
Yeah.
That doesn't excuse her behavior to belittle, and there were some racial microaggressions, to other performers, to other plays, other productions. And I think at the end of the day, Patty is so powerful that she thinks she can get away with things.
Oh.
And so the inevitable reaction is when someone gets very powerful, they get in their head, and she got checked on it.
Yep.
And I think it is rightfully so being checked on it. So,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
She has apologized.
She's apologized. She's apologized. I am a little shocked they didn't put her in the in memoriam last night at the Tony.
Oh my God, that would have been so funny.
Because that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, if you piss off the theater community,
Yeah.
It's kind of no coming back from there.
and they're ruthless.
But you raise an interesting point about people who end up with a lot of power and are particularly known for being part of her brand.
She's a diva.
Is that she's
Yeah.
a diva? Is
Mother,
she's mother?
as I would say.
Actually, the New Yorker piece described her as one of the city's last living broads.
Yeah, like an old-timey
Brassy,
broad.
belty, and profane. Yeah.
Like her idol is Betty Davis, who I also consider like an old-timey broad. Listen, I don't know a lot about Broadway. I should know more. But I read this story and I was like, okay, let me get the facts straight. So there were 2 theaters and 2 plays going on at the same time. The sound was really bad. So Patty, when she was in her dressing room or performing, was hearing the noise from the other production. And she was kind of annoyed by it. And her stage manager says, write a letter to them. She's like, okay. So she wrote a letter. And they were able to fix the sound between the 2 rooms, right? She sent flowers to the crew and to the cast to thank them. So you kind of think that's the end of the story. But then it was the other 2 Broadway performers who then I believe took to social media and said she was bullying them and accused them of microaggressions.
Yes.
And then Patty is interviewed. She gets this huge profile in the New Yorker by Michael Schulman, who's like this amazing writer. And that comes at the very end of the story where he asks her about it. And she's like, she then sort of isn't so kind to those 2 women. And so for me, I just see it like squabbling. And then, you know what I mean? And so 500 people signed the letter. That tells you that either she has a past of this, 500 people took it, or 500 people were like, oh, is this what we should do? I'm going to sign it because I don't want to be labeled a bully either. Do you know what I mean?
Your
No,
face, Andrea,
not at all.
I need
Not
to
at
know what
all.
you think.
I think if you can get 500 people to agree that they don't like you, honey, you're the problem. Like, these are all
That's a
adults.
good point.
These are all adults, and I'll tell you what, there's 2 things that stand out for this. I know who LuPone is, and I know she also has a reputation for being very sharp with her comments, and she has a bit of a mean streak, and she does come from that time, that Betty Davis era, where you could get away with stuff like that. This was before the word canceled even existed. So I think that she's doing this because she's just so accustomed to getting away, and she's never had someone check her and go, no, you can't do this. So I think that's the first issue. The second issue, I watched the Tony Awards. I'm a Broadway nerd. I love all that stuff, and there was a theme throughout all of the acceptance speeches, which is them kind of saying, listen, we're the theater kids, we're the outsiders, and we found our network, we found our community, and we love each other. Do we have little squabbles? Yes, but at the end of the day, we have this wonderful, wonderful community. And then I think them signing is them saying, listen, Patty, you're outside of that. We don't do this publicly.
Do you think they told her this to her face, though, ever?
You don't do this publicly. You don't sit down. You can have this feeling. She can be angry that
But they were the ones that tweeted first.
No.
I'm just curious
it's the fact that she spoke to the media. It's the fact that she spoke to a reporter
You go to the
about
New Yorker.
her. You talk to your friends
But
over
they
coffee.
asked her about
Yeah.
it.
If you've got nothing nice to say it at
nothing.
brunch to your friends.
Thank you.
Not the New Yorker.
She's
Okay.
too seasoned.
okay,
She's too seasoned to know how this was going to turn out, which makes me believe that she is a bully. When you
just
talk to
find
the
it-
media, it's different.
I don't even know why I'm defending her. But something about this riles me up a little bit because
Why?
there have been so many moments where we've championed Patti LuPone. She speaks her mind. She doesn't take crap from anyone.
No, she doesn't.
believes in her self-worth. When she
Stark
says
political
something,
activist.
Exactly, political activist. When she says something, really, she said she would never perform in front of Donald Trump. Why? And she said, because I hate that blah, 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 blah. How's that? It went viral. We all championed her. And she messes up, and it's just like, that's
But this is
so fickle.
This is a career of messing up. This is not a one-time deal. And also, you know what?
A career of messing up? Like what
attacking attacking the
Why do
president,
people so high?
exactly, attacking the president, which a lot is one thing. When you are punching down on a fellow artist and saying you're no diva, you only have 7 shows and I have 31, darling. That's punching down, and that's where it's a problem. When you don't say those things publicly and expect no one to come back to you and say, you know what, you need to shut your mouth. We don't need that energy here.
What I find interesting, though, is like this person. We've all known people in our careers who are larger than life and who get known for being very powerful. I think in both genders, we've worked with people like this before.
Yes, we have.
Who, to their face, everyone's like, "Oh, you're iconic, you're legendary, you're this, you're that," and then behind closed doors, everyone has a terrible story about that person. So I guess I just wonder: is this the only way to get someone of that stature who actually is secretly kind of a villain to hear the message? Or if everyone along the way was actually saying, you know, who are at the same level as her, I understand power imbalances, but who are actually at the same level as Patti LuPone, were being like, "Hey, Patti, you know what? Like, culture's moved on."
And maybe they tried and then they got cussed out.
I don't know.
What about
And
this?
2 things can be true at once.
I was just gonna say, this is anecdotally, you have not anecdotally, in fact, you have a beautiful story about Patti LuPone. I'm guessing there are other people.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Just wait,
Is it beautiful to ask a stranger to pick chicken out of your
That's
teeth?
who she is.
It's a weird request.
I bet.
It's a weird thing to ask someone you just met. I'm sorry.
I would like to wager that there are people who have great stories about Patti LuPone. I would also like to wager that there are people who have terrible stories about Patti LuPone. What does that make Patti LuPone? A very complicated person.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It makes all of us. We
All
all
of us.
sometimes do stuff. I will say, Patti LuPone, if you are indeed the most prolific Broadway star of all time, you really have time to write a letter about some noise complaints to the only all-black ensemble production next door?
For these prehistoric buildings, by the way. This is not the production. These are old buildings.
We gotta book you on some more podcasts because she doesn't have much time on her hands.
Thank you.
I'm like, she needs more to do if that's what you're gonna spend your time on.
I hope that the moral of this story is she has since apologized, and she was sort of put in the corner, as you do with the child. You know, like, you're in the corner, you can't come to the events that you want to come to. So hopefully she's gonna learn something out of this and actually change her stripes, and that the community will at least give her another chance. I mean, that's what you want. You want a redemption story a little bit, but if the behavior doesn't change, then there's another story. Can we at least get to that point where we assume that
Peacemaker.
I love that hopefulness. I love that in you. I love that.
And look, while we're banning things that are just useless, I thought I would add to the list. First thing, menu QR codes at restaurants.
No!
Guys, it has been 4 years since the pandemic. I will personally buy every Applebee's franchise a printer.
Welcome back, everybody. Connor, that's a clip from the debut solo show called Sorry, a Canadian's Apology for America. Hilarious. Congratulations, first of all. So fantastic.
Thank you.
All right. So I want to sing your praises a little bit because you are an Emmy-nominated producer with the John Mulaney Show, which is fantastic, right?
Yeah.
You've also collaborated with some comedy heavyweights. I'm talking Jon Stewart, Pete Davidson, and Nikki Glaser.
The best.
Jeez.
Wow, some big names. So I'm curious, which one of those comedians have you had to apologize to? And did you also pick chicken out of their teeth?
Well, no chicken out of anyone's teeth. Okay. I do remember when I was opening for Nikki, we would drive on the highway, and she's a very scared passenger. And so I would have to drive very carefully, but there was many times where she put the sleep mask on in the back. I would be driving and just consistently apologizing. I also asked too many questions to Pete when he was dating Kim, and that didn't go over well.
Come on.
But overall, you know, I mean, they're all really good people. They're so smart. Like, learning from arguably the greatest comics of all time. I've been really lucky, and I put a lot of that in this new show. So I'm just honored to be in such good company.
Well, you're a Canadian working in American TV, which is huge.
Yeah.
And I think we Canadians think the industry, the U.S. industry, is cutthroat. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Yeah?
I mean, it's hard. It's hard. I mean, I've been really lucky. My first job in Hollywood was working for Larry King. Like, I was.
How old were you?
I was like 18.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
I was tweeting as him.
Wow.
The oldest man alive. Just like responding to the Jonas Brothers, being like, "Love you, girls." Like, I had no idea.
In his voice, like you could channel a Larry King voice. No.
If you were to think, who would be the perfect person to write for the oldest man alive, you would say Connor Malva.
There you go.
No, but I was really lucky. I got a good job at the Jump. I then started working on Mariah Carey's Magical Christmas Special, which was incredible. I've done every Christmas special you think I'd convert. I mean, I've done them all. I've Pentatonics, Little Big Town, John Legend, Elton John. I've done them all.
Okay, so at what point? So you did all this behind the scenes, work. At what point did you decide? Okay, no, I want to be out there.
I will say, I think when you work, I work on Everybody's Live. I'm the producer on Everybody's Live with John Mulaney and Richard Kind. And every single day, I watch the best comedians in the world practice their craft over and over and over and over again. I see how they craft jokes, create stories, find their niche, find their voice. I had stopped comedy for 5 years. I took a hiatus while COVID was happening. And being back with these star-powered comedians, these smart people, I just said, this is the time.
Yeah.
And I wrote the show right after Kamala Harris lost. So there was a lot permeating in my mind. I was like really frustrated. I was living in the States. I had lived through one Trump presidency. I had lived through a Biden presidency and now another Trump presidency. So there was so much on my mind. And when I moved to the States, it was a really weird time. You know, Roseanne was back on TV.
Oh, right, we remember that.
Anthony Bourdain just killed himself. There was a lot going on. Yeah. So it was a really important time to say, as a Canadian, we have this strong intuition when things start to go awry. And so I really, really dug my feet in and wrote a show that I'm so proud of and passionate about.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible, Connor.
Thank you.
Well, we want to stick with the theme here of apologies
Let's.
and play a little game that we like to call Sorry, Not Sorry.
Yes.
So we'll present mildly controversial or awkward situations and declare whether we're actually sorry or not sorry. An audience, you're going to play around?
Love.
Everyone's got a paddle?
Got their paddles?
Okay, so first up, reading a text but not responding for days. Sorry or not sorry?
Not sorry. Thank you.
Yeah,
Your
not
audience
sorry.
is up to the speed.
Okay.
I can't text anyone back on time.
Okay, all right. Well,
We're busy. We got things to do. And also, don't take it personally.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If text messages were around a long time ago, I'm telling you, people would have been. It's not meant for us to be responding like this.
This one's more controversial, this next one. Taking a full shopping cart into the express checkout. I'm gonna say
terrible.
Come on now.
Yeah, that's bad behavior.
Yeah, I mean.
Not stories out there.
No, I gotta take.
Ma'am.
No, I'm not taking my card.
Okay, how about
I need to take the little basket so I can sneak things out. I scan everything as a banana, 4011 every time.
Oh my God,
Sorry.
okay, the code. How about this one? Exiting a party without saying goodbye to anyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Irish exit, I'm out of there.
Right?
Yep.
I don't need to give anyone else hugs.
No.
Just
exit.
Just get out of there. All right, so
Yeah.
the next one. Saying I'm on my way when you haven't actually left yet. Sorry or not sorry?
Is that you do?
Yeah, I'm doing that. On the way, I've just put my seatbelt on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in the drive-thru at Starbucks.
Yeah.
All the good intentions.
5 minutes away.
Is that a mocha, sir? Shh, I'm on my way.
Connor, you are so wonderful. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us today. So good. Okay, listen up. After a sold-out run in Los Angeles, you can still catch Connor's final performance of Sorry, a Canadian's Apology for America, right here in Toronto, June 14th at the Paradise Theatre. Make sure you grab your tickets.
Subscribe to the Social Podcast so you don't miss a fiery debate. Until next time, socialites.